Welcome to Review the Light. Today we're going to be taking a look at the new EC21 by Nitecore. But really quick, if you haven't yet, you can go ahead and click this link right up here in the corner to subscribe to my channel. This one up here to follow me on Facebook. That'll keep you up to date on the latest reviews, pictures, news, whatever I post there. And okay, so with that, we'll get into it. So the EC21 by Nitecore is in their Explorer series. It uses a single 18650 battery or two CR123 batteries. It gets up to 460 lumens, and it has an additional red LED in the head as well. So there's the specs on the body. If you want at any time, you can just pause it and take a look at that. I won't go into detail at what's on the box. So you open it up, and inside you've got, as I drop the box here, inside the box there's still the manual here and the warranty card. We'll keep the manual handy because it's got quite a few features. Also, we have the holster, have the little accessories. I'll get these out so you can see them better. Comes with Nitecore standard lanyard here. That's what that looks like. I'm not a huge fan of lanyards usually, so I'm not going to bother with that right now. It's got two extra O-rings, which is nice. Those are going to wear out after a while if you use the light, so it's good to have the extras. And then the light itself. So for those of you that like holsters, I'll put it in the holster. You can get a look at what it looks like in there. There it is. Fits snugly in there. The holster's got Nitecore's little logo right there. This hook, if you want to clip it to something, it's got both Velcro and permanently sewn in slits right there for whichever you prefer for attaching, and then Velcro closure over the light. And because of its size, it obviously fits in head up or down, whichever you like. So here's the clip. It seems it's a pretty small clip, but it fits on there tightly. You can see its shape there. That's what it looks like. So it's designed so it's going to sit well in your pocket. It'll only protrude just the tiniest bit there. It looks like, I haven't tried this yet, it looks like it'll also go on this side if you want. If you prefer to have it head up, that's another option, whichever you prefer. So to operate the light, you use these two buttons here. I'll get into that in a second. First, we will take a look at some of the other features, I guess. So let's see, I believe this uses the new Cree XPE emitter. Let me check to make sure I'm right on that. Oh no, this is an XPG2 emitter. So you can see down there's an XPG2 emitter, so that's going to be high efficiency, high brightness. Not quite as high efficiency and brightness as, let's say, the XML or XPE emitter, but it does have a smaller die size, so it's going to be a lot more focused, and we'll see that when we turn it on. And you can also see on the side there's a second emitter on the side. That's the red emitter, so we'll look at that also as when we turn it on. Now, you can see I mentioned those two buttons on the side. This is two electronic buttons together, and you can see some of the design around the head there. Pretty stylish. It's kind of got a slightly different style than some other Nitecore lights, but retaining their same overall feel. I enjoy these kind of cutouts on the head and on the tail. They give some good grip. That seems like a slightly new thing, and it's kind of, I like the look of them also. We've got some knurling here on the body for good grip, the model name, Nitecore's name and website there. On the tail you see there's no tail switch, so it has a really stable tail stand, and it's completely controlled by those on the side, switches on the side. So you can open it up. It doesn't come with a battery in it, but I'd put it in there when I was checking it out. You can open it up and see here's Nitecore's reverse polarity protection design in the head there, so you can see if you insert a battery backwards, then all three of these metal parts are going to be contacting the terminal, and it will know not to activate. So you do need to use button top batteries, as with most Nitecore lights that I've found. Nitecore's batteries have those button tops, but not all 18650s do. It comes apart at both the head and the tail. So here you can see if my camera will focus for you, You can see the threads there. There we go. They're square cut, anodized, really clean. They came lubricated. They look really good. Here you can see in the tail the spring to make contact with the negative battery terminal. So that's that. Alright, it seems like if you have the clip here, it kind of rubs against the parts that stick out from the head there, so I'm going to go ahead and move the clip back to the other side. And there, by the way, is where you'd attach the lanyard if you want to use that. So, to operate the EC21, it's got a lot it can do. I'm going to try and run through everything here, but if I miss something, you can call me out on it or check out the user manual. I'll probably be posting a picture of the user manual in the full review, which, by the way, I forgot to mention. I'll put the link down here in the description to the full review once it's complete. That'll have any answers to most of your questions if you have anything you still want to know after watching this. So, basic operation of the light. To turn it on, you hit this button here, and you can see it looks pretty blue on my camera right now. That's just because of my white balance settings. It'll look a lot better than that if you when we take it outside. I'll have different white balance settings, but there you can see when you turn it on, this basic operation, turn it on and off using this switch, and then it's got on and off switch there and the mode switch towards the front. So if it's on and I click the mode switch to the front, it cycles through the 5 output modes. We've got lower, low, medium, high, and turbo. And then you just cycle through those. And then whichever one you leave it in, it remembers until the next time you turn it back on. So you also have the option of hitting the mode switch there in the front and activating that red emitter. So it's not bright enough that you can see it really well in here, but there it is. So you'll see this more when we take it outside. Or actually, here, let me turn off the light really quick and you can see the beam pattern in here. So here's the beam pattern. You can see it's kind of funny. That's just due to the fact that it's set into the side of the emitter instead of, or excuse me, the emitter set into the side of the reflector instead of the middle. I'll turn it back on. So when that's on, you have the option of also holding down on the mode switch, and then it goes into kind of this beacon mode, or holding down again and it goes back to being steady, and then you can just turn it off by clicking either of the switches. Then also another different mode it has is when you've got the main emitter on, if you hold down on the mode switch, then it goes into a fast strobe, hold down again, and it goes into a beacon mode where it flashes once every few seconds, and then hold down again and it goes into SOS, and then just click the mode switch again, excuse me, the on-off switch again to turn it off. Also, it's got an electronic lockout mode. I won't go into that now just to save time, but that's an option. And then also you can lock it out by loosening the tail cap if you're not going to be using it for a long amount of time. Then you can do all the clicking you want and it won't do anything. So that's it for the operation for now. We'll take it outside and give it a shot in the dark. Alright, welcome back to Review the Light. We've got the new Nitecore EC21 here in the backyard, and we're going to go ahead and fire it up and give it a shot. So there she goes. I just turned it on with the power button. This is whatever mode I used last. Looks like one of the higher modes. So you can see the very tightly defined spot right there. I believe that's from the XPG2 emitter, if I'm recalling correctly. Very good, solid white beam. The tint here is very nice, pretty accurate to what you see on the screen. Tight spot there in the middle, out into the well-defined spill region there that just cuts off pretty abruptly. So even the spill isn't very large. It's a very focused beam to the XPG2. So I'm going to go ahead and cycle through the modes. Oh, my mistake. I went to the strobe mode on accident. Held the button a little too long, so we'll just go with that while we have it. The next is the beacon. And then the SOS mode, again by holding the mode button. You cycle through these 3 special modes. That's the SOS. Okay, so we'll go back to the regular modes. Just a single click to the forward mode button. That's the lowest mode. 2, 3, 4, and 5. So those are the 5 brightnesses that it has. If I look around, you can see there's my dog just hanging out with his bone. Hercules is being a good helper tonight, so you can see up into the trees. It's a very good throw from such a small light. The XPG2 has a lot of power, and it's well focused, so even though I believe this is only, what, 400 or 500 lumens, you're still seeing a lot of throw out of here. Just because of the small die size means you don't have to have a very big reflector. So that's pretty great how much throw you're able to get from just such a small pocket size light. So then finally there is the red light. I'll show you here by clicking the forward button from off. So here it is, you can see it's on. It's not very bright at all, which is obviously one of the great features of a red light. You can kind of see it on the garage over there. If I point it at the ground, you can see a little bit. There you might be able to see my dog lit up red. Excuse me, my phone is ringing. There we go. Alright. And yeah, obviously the splotchy beam comes from it not being very well centered, but there it is. So this has been the Nitecore EC21. If you want to check out the full review, if you liked the review, go ahead and click this link right up here to follow me on YouTube, up here for Facebook, and if you like this and want to see the full review, that'll be in the description right down there. So thanks and have a great night.